Well, what a cauldron of talent we have for you today. Welcome to Scam of the Week. We've got the Shadow Cabinet announcement, the Shad Cab, plus plenty of shenanigans from Labor and the rest. We're on business and politics. Scam of the Week. Now that the Libs and the Nats have reinvigorated their marriage and renewed their vows, the split has been healed, the wounds are healing now. We'll have a quick run through. They might be 34 seats down on the last parliament. However, they are back on track. Now just have a look at this lineup. Let's have a look at it. Oh, a deep pool of talent. It will drive a stake of fear through Labor ranks, through the government's heart. Now, while how would we describe this? Beyond grief, disconsolate, that Humie, our old mate Jane Hume, has departed the ministry. Nonetheless, look at the replacements here. Who have we got? The most impressive appointment of all is, of course, Michaelia Cash as Foreign Affairs Minister. Shadow Minister right now, but can you imagine if she actually gets into government? She berated Penny Wong in Foreign Affairs, the Foreign Affairs Minister at the moment. She berated for not inviting Benjamin Netanyahu to Australia. What oversight. How lax of her not inviting good old Benjamin Netanyahu to Australia. It was a disgrace, said Cashy. It's an impressive appointment, all right. So what's Cashy going to do if she gets into office? Maybe bring back concentration camps, make Australia a haven, make it the new Paraguay, a haven for foreign war criminals like Benjamin Cashy. What an appointment. And then, of course, we've got Ted O'Brien, appointed a former lobbyist and nuclear freak as the Shadow Treasurer. Ted O'Brien, Teddy. Andrew Hastie, Home Affairs. Angus Taylor, Defence. On the one hand, we have Richard Marles, Dickie Marles, and then we've got Angus on the other side. Well, there won't be any wavering from the AUKUS path there. Not with Angus and Richard at the reins. They'll be as one. They will be as one. And when it comes to the Great Alliance, our friend, currently managing concentration camps in Gaza, our friend America, the brave. So Angus, he gets a gig as defence. He probably wanted Treasury, but not too bad. Who else have we got here? Timmy Wilson. Dear Timmy Wilson. Industrial Relations, Tim has been appointed to. Now, what augurs this appointment? What could we say about Tim in Industrial Relations? Because, of course, he's never had a job outside government subsidised jobs and government jobs, so he's had no real experience in the private workforce, but he's certainly very opinionated about it, and that's what counts. Opinions. Tim, of course, if he takes a traditional extreme right-wing approach, which he's likely to do, he might reintroduce slavery to Australia perhaps, but if he's more progressive, Tim perhaps might be espousing the principles of indentured servitude. Who knows? Timmy, Industrial Relations. Oh, a wealth of experience in government jobs. James Patterson, little Jimmy Patterson. Oh, there he is, shining on the front shadow bench. Finance. They got James in finance. Well, of course, before the whole PwC scandal exploded, James presided over the inquiry into the Big Four auditors, where, with something like a 13-page report after this immense waste of time, he found, as chairman of the committee, that there was nothing to see here. It's just a couple of years before PwC completely imploded, and just before, while his government, when he was last in office, was increasing, privatising government, basically giving it all to the Big Four, $20 billion to consultants. James was at the helm, so he's an excellent candidate for finance. What else have we got? He'll be able to talk about financing the pending war against China because he just loves that idea of going to war with China, does James? Anyway, who else have we got here? Oh, Jacinta Price. Breathtaking appointment, Jacinta. She has got the defence industry portfolio, which of course is a huge and expanding portfolio because it's all the arms manufacturers lobbying to get money out of government. Very vibrant sector, especially as we can't defend ourselves at the moment, so perhaps we're going to have to spend more money on defence because during the 9 years of the coalition, of course, they frittered the lot away. Procurement was an absolute disaster. But now they've got Jacinta at the helm here. We can be sure of one thing. The expenses will be large. Jacinta, just reading this here, she'll bring a touch of MAGA to the job too because she loves the MAGA. The coalition senator has had to repay expenses she improperly claimed from the taxpayer 13 times, totally almost $11,000, and she's now vehemently rejecting claims as a smear that she's under investigation for her 14th expenses scandal. Perfect for defence industry because it's all NatSec because it's defence. So no longer will those expenses be a thing because defence will just pick up the lot. Who else have we got? Julie and Lisa, AG. I mean, I don't actually know what the Murdoch press, where news goes to die, News Corps, what they're complaining about. Where do you go when they're so solidly back on track? Wither this track. They have to compete with a visionary Labor Party who's just outdoing them on the larger Liberal front. I mean, just this very week, the Woodside environmental improvement by new Environment Minister, put that in inverted commas, Murray Watt. Oh, Murray, congratulations. You've got the poison chalice there, Sonny Jim. Tanya won't be disappointed to get out of that portfolio because the biggest gas expansion has just been awarded this week. Got the environmental tick, even though it'll blow up the planet. 50 years. What a deal. What a deal. A 50-year deal for Woodside and its partners on the Northwest Shelf. All of it's for export. $200 billion drilling our gas. No royalties. Don't even know if any is earmarked for the WA Domestic Gas Reservation Plan because that's why gas prices have been lower in WA because the government very sensibly there insisted that 10 or 12% of it be earmarked for domestic consumption. So they paid a lot more than we've had to pay over on the East Coast. But this is just a scintillating deal if you're a large gas corporation. Scintillating. I mean, the Libs could not have done better. Maybe they just sell the whole country to America or something. But otherwise, this is a brilliant deal because they don't pay any tax, these guys. Woodside pays a bit. Okay, because it's a domestic multinational. The partners pay nothing. People like Inpex have paid nothing on their billions, and Chevron and Shell have done likewise for many years. But this is just a giveaway. Here, have $200 billion. We're going to export the lot. We're not going to insist that any of it is earmarked, shipped over to the East Coast, anything like that. Rather, we're building import terminals to import our own gas back into Australia. We are the only country in the world to do that. I mean, we've set an Olympic standard, really, in incredibly bad policy. But this gimme to gas multinationals, well, it's unrivaled. Unrivaled it is. What else have we got here? Kamala Harris, former VP of the US, coming over. We funded her pageantry with all the Secret Service and all this stuff so she could give a real estate tour. You could do a real estate tour. By the way, we did notice the ACCC, and good on them for this, because they actually have said they're going to investigate realestate.com.au, and the chairman now is a former Murdoch lawyer, so she's done well. They've always had more robust, they're a bit short budgeted compared to, say, ASIC and the ATO, but they've always had a bit of a crack, the ACCC, and they're having a crack at realestate.com.au, which is a Murdoch property, majority owned by News Corps, where the news goes to die. So that's pretty robust of them. Oh, Meg O'Neill, I was still on fossil fuels. Meg O'Neill, the chief executive of Woodside, he thinks she'd be a little bit more tactful, having just been given $200 billion for free. Meg O'Neill, she blamed young people as the real threat to climate change. No, not the fossil fuel corporations, but young people for going on the internet and using Temu and having imports sold, blowing up a bit of carbon emissions while they're getting their Temu goods. So it's all young people's fault, according to Meg, tossing the blame around with gay abandon. Nasser Majni, now the head Palestinian spokesman in Australia, did a very good, the best interview I have seen on ABC in 20 months since the October 7 thing and the genocide. Called a spade, apartheid, genocide, bang. The thing went up on the ABC, bang, gone. They took it down. They just got rid of it and then later came up with some after the Streisand effect was taking place and it going all out around Instagram and everything like that. This interview, which somebody had captured before they pulled it, it was a brilliant interview. He's very, very good. If you tell the truth about Israel, they just erase it from the face of the earth. The first whiff of grape shot, the first complaint from the Israel war lobby, bang, it's gone. That's balance for you. ABC balance. Ultra-Zionists or progressive Zionists. It's all a bit genocide-y, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. That's what we're doing here in independent media, trying to rectify that balance, because this is a Holocaust. Meg O'Neill, Port of Darwin. Oh, here we go. So they pull it out of the Chinese hands. We always thought it was a bad idea in the first place and said so back in 2016 when they sold it to the Chinese. Why would you sell your northernmost port to the Chinese? Anyway, they're pulling it from the Chinese, a bit of an election thing. Both Libs and Labor went, no, it's not on. We're too anti-Chinese, need to get it off them. And they're going to give it to a US hedge fund. That's who they are mooting it will be sold to. Let's give it to a US hedge fund. What a great idea that is. Can you imagine how much tax that will be paying? Oh, we got ScoMo. Scomocchio. The return of the ScoMo. He was out and about this week saying that AUKUS should have a third pillar, space. Now, ScoMo in space, we looked at this and we thought, well, that's very good from ScoMo. If he gets AUKUS into space, we might be funding the US rocket program as well as the shipyards, maybe another $368 billion. Imagine the fees in that for ScoMo, the lobbyist, the former PM. It'll be a great deal for ScoMo if they get AUKUS into space. There's no doubt about that. So anyway, while we're a bit down in the mouth about Humie, a former winner of this prestigious award, I think a double winner of Scam of the Week, that she is gone. But look at the talent. Look at this lineup. And look at the Labor Party outlibbing the Liberal Party, the fossil fuel, turning Australia into a petro state and wanting to host COP31. Is that greenwashing or what? We're putting our hands up as the petro state. Yes, we want to host COP31. It'd be good PR for us. Do as I say, not as I do. Many Scam of the Weeks to come. We get to see it. It's just wonderful content. So thank you for your patronage. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and comment in the section below and throw us a few bucks on Patreon if you can afford it.